Right, we are live. Thanks so much for joining, everyone. We've got George in the house, Thrifty Georgie. Thanks so much for joining.
Hello.
So, just tell us a bit about yourself and what got you into reselling.
Oh, well, I've always done reselling. I've always like in college and in uni and everything. I used to sell like clothes because I couldn't like keep them all in. And I was very space conscious, and like video games. That was like my first real kind of foray into reselling. But I didn't really take it seriously, and then I kind of like on and off sold stuff, and then it just kind of picked up, and then I had a bit of a breakdown. I say bit of a breakdown. When you have a breakdown, it's like you were literally your whole life implodes.
Yeah.
So I that happened, and then I started selling off lots of stuff because I was in debt. So I was like, how am I going to get in debt? How am I going to get out of debt when I've got, because I didn't have a job. Had to move. I had left my house. I had a whole thing. And so I literally started from scratch. So I started selling off loads of stuff. And then I can't remember who it was that I found online on YouTube. I think it was Ben Fitzpatrick, way back when he was doing it. And then when Nick and Z were doing like the Thursday chats and stuff. And then there was this whole kind of like, it kind of spiraled from there. And I was like, oh, they're doing it full time. I could do it full time. So I did it part time. And then I left it for like a year. And then I've come back after COVID, after the vid.
Yeah.
And I've just gone straight into full time. That's basically my eBay CV. My eBay CV, yeah.
What did you do at uni?
I did English. So the most practical degree you can ever do is English. Check. Yeah, so it wasn't very. It didn't really have any kind of like bearing on what I did after uni, because I did so many jobs after uni.
Yeah.
As you do, you're just surviving, aren't you?
Yeah.
And that's basically it.
Oh, nice. What made you have kind of like that year gap? What did you do in that year?
I got a job abroad, but then basically COVID happened. I lost the job and had to come back. So in a matter of like months. So it was like, oh.
Yeah.
So basically COVID. And then I only had like a little bit of stock. So it was towards the like endish of COVID, and I didn't really have anything. And I bought like a few, like, you know how you could go to people's houses if it was business related.
Yeah.
So I started doing that, but then like they started lifting restrictions. So I started picking up a bit more stuff, and then loads of family gave me like loads of their like stuff as well. So I was quite lucky actually, because I came back like just when like restrictions were, you know, lifting and easing. So I thought, if I'm going to do it full time, because I knew that I could earn enough to sustain myself.
Yeah.
I thought, do it now or never, and I haven't looked back. And weirdly, I'm earning more now than I've ever done full time, doing like a 9-5 slave to the wage kind of thing. So,
oh wow, that's great.
It's weird how things work out.
Yeah, definitely. Where are you now? Is that like the basement in your house, or
the basement? It's the garage. I actually got someone commented, and they said it looks like you've got no roof, and it just looks like a wall.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a like a set off a soap.
Kinda, but I promise you, it is a garage, and it's just pointed, and we're at like the corner bit, so it looks like it's invisible there. But it is, and that air vent there. Oh, where am I? There.
Yeah.
That's obviously like an air vent, but we've got like a little path like next to our house, and then you've got the neighbours, and the neighbours are doing like construction. So like every day it's like that. It's like, oh, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. So whenever I do videos and I jump, like recently, like you can see it's really heavily edited. It's because like they've started banging, and they're like, because the air vent's right there, I can hear them talking. Like it's that close. So I don't want to be like,
Yeah.
they'll hear me. Sorry,
I'm just gonna jump in the chat a moment if that's all right, George.
Yeah. I'm just bringing up the chat now so I can
have a mooch. We've got Sharon in. Hello, thanks for joining. Tonks as well, James and Sarah, thanks for joining. That was me just putting on George's channel there, so please subscribe if you're not already subscribed. We've also got Pete. Looking forward to this. Thanks, Pete. Just coming down now. Tonks making bundles to photograph tomorrow. She's not trying them on. She's a bit sleepy. Always tomorrow to try and steal more. Wholesale mixed bags taking ages to process due to making bundles. Not sure I'd buy them again. Where did you get these ones from, Tonks? And we've also got Lisa in. We've got Damien. Hello, thanks so much for joining. Limelight Vinty. Hello. And Rich, Secret Carper. Good evening. Any fishing lately, Rich? And we've got Kate in. Hello. Lindsay and Alvin. Thanks for joining. Chris Tyler. Thanks for joining. Pat. Hello, Pat. Thanks for joining. You didn't have to burn Rich, didn't you, the other night? Just coming down a little bit more down the chat here. And there's a question in here. What is your ASP and how many items do you roughly sell a day?
Oh, well, weirdly, I've got 2 accounts. It was mainly people who follow me know this. I've got 2 accounts because I wanted to niche down in 2 separate things, and it didn't happen. They just all merged anyway. So I've got like 2 definitely. So on one, I think last time I checked, it was 21 or something like that, and then the other one was like 19. So I'm kind of hovering around the 20 mark. I like average it out about 20. Yeah. Average amount I sell a day. Oh, I don't know, probably around 5 or 6 ish. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I'd say about 5 or 6. I've had about 5 today. So
yeah, I had 6 yesterday. I had 5 eBay and 1 Vinted yesterday.
Nice.
But I've literally had nothing today. Not a bean.
It's weird, isn't it? How it just kind of like, it's okay, and then it's like, no.
Yeah.
It feels like somebody's literally like just like, okay, they've got like a lever, and it's like, no, no more.
Yeah, it's like, you've had your fun, no more for you.
Yeah, it's oh god. Yesterday, I must admit, I was getting a bit kind of like, oh my god, I've only had like 2 or 3 sets. I've only had 2 or 3. And then by the end of the stream, I'd sold something. I think it was on Vinted or Depop, and then another thing on eBay, and I was like, okay, I can breathe. I've nearly enough hit my target, so I was like, oh, I can breathe.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to be getting to the point where I am getting like 5 or 6 a day, and I think like, you know, consistently kind of thing. Like I think I'm starting I'm always selling something like every day, but it'd be nice to get that consistent 5 or 6, you know, a day.
I feel like because I've got like a target that I can hit, a personal target, and it's like I'm comfortable. I'm not getting like, oh my god, because that's like full-time hours, if you know what I mean. Like, oh, I'm earning the same as what I was earning, you know, way back when. And then I've got like a professional kind of like target, and really it's like full-time hours, part-time hours. So if I kind of look at it like that, so even if I've only hit my personal one, that's still part-time hours that I'm worth. So I'm like, it takes the psychological edge off a little bit. I'm terrible. Sorry, I'm just down in this iced tea. I've still got iced tea. I love it. I'm obsessed.
We've also got She's Always Flipping. Thank you so much for joining.
Oh, I am Andy.
Carly at number 53. Hello, thanks for joining.
Awesome.
Just coming down now. Sarah resell. Sorry I'm late. No problem, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
It's just nice to have you here, so don't worry. And I'm still coming down. Rick.
It's Tonks. It's a Hercules mug.
Oh, did I miss that one?
It's a Hercules mug from like the actual film. Like, you know, when they do like one of the songs and they've done a ceramic Hercules mug. So I was like, oh, I'm getting it. And I got it in the sales.
Oh.
So go me.
And that's what you've got your iced tea in?
That's basically what I've got my iced tea in, yeah. I don't want to put anything like it's not got any vodka in it. It's not a Long Island. It's more of a Long Eaton.
Rich, no, not been fishing for a while, but going to a fishing show in Farnborough. Yeah, that sounds good, Rich. You'll have to teach me some stuff about fishing. I'd quite like to try it. Lindsay and Alvin, they love your twinkly lights in the background, George.
Oh yes, it's magic.
And Thrifty Shutterbug Jess loves a bit of iced tea as well. Can't go wrong with a bit of iced tea. Oh yeah, that was the comment saying, let's have a closer look, George.
I've got two separate screens, so if I'm like looking over there like that, it's because this screen is here and it's all the chats on here. So if I'm like gormlessly looking that way, like it's because of that.
Also got Ian Jayan, hello, thanks for joining. So what's like the main sort of things you pick up then, George?
I want to say like toys and stuff, because that probably constitutes about 20 odd to 30 odd % of my business. But recently, well, over the past like 6 to 8 months, I've been increasing clothing, and I don't know why, because I promised myself to kind of steer away from clothing. However, it's just so plentiful. It's like everywhere, and it's like, you know, it's reasonably cheap. The markups are just so easy, and it's like, yeah, I've been quite lucky. I mean, literally before I came on stream, I sold a pair of shorts.
Yeah, I suppose people are starting to think of warmer weathers now, I suppose.
Yeah, and like what they're going to do like in spring and Easter and everything. So yeah, just like clothing has always been a part of my business, but it's never really been the dominant kind of thing. It's mainly been toys, I think. Yeah, I'd say toys.
The majority of what I sell is like clothes and shoes, but I do like video games and consoles as well. I think that's probably like my top 3 categories, and then I kind of dabble in other things as well.
What's your favorite console to pick up? Because I've found it very difficult to find consoles in like charities and everything.
Well, for me, Nintendo Wii's actually go quite well for me. I have sold a couple of Xbox 360s. I've got one on at the moment, which has taken an age to shift. And I don't know why, because it's like the biggest bundle I've ever done. Like, it's got like the connector with it, it's got a steering wheel, it's got foot pedals, it's got like 2 controllers, it's got about 11 games. Like, it's a massive bundle. But all my other Xboxes I had at the time, they went first, and I don't really know why.
Weird that, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, Nintendo for me always goes pretty well. I've got a Wii as well at the moment. I've got a black one. But yeah, I picked up about 3 or 4 Nintendo Wiis at one stage, and I sold them all within the space of about 6 weeks or so.
Wow. I did notice on one of the auctions that I kind of dabble in. I kind of come like, I've got a couple of auction houses near here, and there's one that's really good, and there's one that's like a bit pricey, and their premium went up since COVID. But they had, I don't know if it was like a computer game shop that went out of business, because they had hundreds of computer game consoles, and I was like, oh my god! And I was like looking, and literally the run up, they were running everything up, and it was just like, oh my god, it's just, and you didn't know if they worked or not. But then if you think the black PS2, like the chunky one,
Yeah.
I think isn't it spares and repairs? It's still like 15 quid
Yeah.
or something,
Yeah.
20 quid though.
Yeah. I
So
mean, I've had a couple of Xboxes. You know, you buy it at a car boot, and they assure you it works. And you know, I mean, if it's anything like that, then yeah. Because I've had like a couple where they've been like, oh yeah, it works. It's just got no power lead. And I said, well, how do you know it works if it's got no power lead?
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
yeah, so I won't pay any more than like a £5 for those. I've had one that I did get home and actually it did work.
that's good.
But the other couple that I picked up didn't work. But I still sold them for like spares and repairs for about like 15 odd quid each. And they all went GSP as well, which is even weirder.
That's good. Was it off to America?
No, I had it's Poland, I think.
That's
it was European countries.
Well, I suppose like Europe's under PAL, isn't it, PAL? So it's
that's probably why. Yeah.
I did get this about 2 weeks ago at the car boot, and it was a Nintendo DS, and she was like, it does work a promo. So I was like, okay. Anyway, I got it for £5 in the end because I got something else with it, and I tested it, and it does work. I'm like, oh. So cool. I've been playing Big Brain Academy. Like every now and then I've been like, oh, I can test my brain function, see if it's still working.
Yeah. I picked up a DS and it had like everything with it. I think I paid like a tenner for it. Got it home and unfortunately it didn't work. Oh. And stupidly at the time I didn't play around with sort of all the buttons, and a couple of the buttons were stuck on like the D-pad, so I couldn't move right or down. But I put it on. I put that as just. I started it at 99p auction, and that went off to Poland as well. And I got just over my money back for it, so I couldn't kind of complain too much.
Yeah, as long as you get like your money back, it should be alright.
Yeah, if things I've got home, and if it's like broken, as long as I get my money back for it, I'm not too like bothered.
Yeah,
as long as I've made the cost back, it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have a quick look in the chat, and Tonks has put up your channel there as well. Thanks so much.
Oh, thanks, Tonks.
Sharon's got 2 here. I'm guessing that's Wee's Sharon. Yeah, I always find Wee's go well for me. Hi, Dave.
Hi, Dave.
I don't know whether it's like as well with Wee's. They were kind of like the first really kind of interactive console, weren't they?
Like, yeah, and it was
sports and everything.
It was marketed as like family video games instead of like the kids video games. It was family video games, and there was like 4. Easily, you could have like four people play it. So like mum, dad, and kids. It was like the perfect, and that's why I think they spiked during lockdown.
Yeah,
it's like everyone wanted like the console. So
yeah, I mean, I've done quite well out of them. I actually got one bundle at a car boot for £3, and this was another one I thought wasn't going to work. And it had like 3 controls with it, 3 nunchucks, a few games, and I thought, oh, it's only £3, like give it a whirl. Got it home, tested it, totally worked, and then pressed the eject button. It spat out Mario Party 9 at me as well, and I was like, mint. And
that's like the best.
Yeah, and I had a Wii Fit board with it as well, and I sold it for about 80 quid, something like that, the whole lot.
The weirdest Wii collection I got, I don't know where I got it from. I think I must have got it from the car boot or the auction or something, and it was in a box. It was boxed, but it was like really crispy, kind of like Wii fresh, and I was like, hang on, they've been out for like 10 years plus, and everything was there. It was kind of still in the wrapping and everything. It's fine. So I put it up it was before the pandemic, I think I put it up for like 75,
Yeah.
and somebody paid outright. Like they just paid outright, and it was one of those ones where I only put one picture up of it, and it was just the box because I was going to do the listing properly
Yeah.
like the next day, and I put it up and everything, and they bought it within a couple of hours, and I was like, are you sure? I've got some more photos I can take. And they said, no, it's fine, I trust you. I was like, okay. And it was like Make a Wish. It wasn't Make a Wish, but it was along those lines. Like they buy consoles and they give them to like
Oh yeah.
children's hospitals and stuff.
Yeah.
And they get. He said, "Can you get it here for such as time?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll do it next day delivery." So it was like it was the quickest flip that I've had in a long time. But yeah, that's the weirdest way. I went into a charity shop yesterday, and for the first time in probably about a year or two, I saw PlayStation 1 games, and there was like 8 or 9 of them.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god! And they weren't like cracked cases; they were all in like really good cases. Unfortunately, they were all like actual soccer and FIFA, and there was one decent game, but they knew what they had and they priced it as such. But I was like, oh, but like, yeah, I was like, I haven't seen PlayStation 1 games in a charity shop for ages because they just get snapped up.
Yeah, I went to a shop in Stroud, and I picked up Kirby's Epic Yarn on the Wii for like £1. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, mine. And but they had a whole load of PS1 games and stuff there, but they were priced more. But and there's a charity shop in town as well. I've noticed them in there, but they had them on for like really silly prices. But I've never bought a Wii from a charity shop, mainly because they always want like 30-40 quid for it, regardless if it's got controllers or anything or not. So yeah, usually like Facebook Marketplace and places like that are the best places to look for them.
Yeah, but like certain times as well, like you know that as soon as they put it up, it's just they're just going to go because resellers are so kind of quick now on Facebook. It's like you've got to be like lightning quick to get them.
Yeah. The Wii that I've got now, I picked that up for 15 quid, and it had the Motion Plus controller with it.
Yeah.
I split that out, and I sold that on Vinted for $18.99 just for the Motion Plus controller. So I've already made my money back on it.
Yeah.
So I'm just waiting for the actual thing to sell now.
I can't remember what it was. I think it was do you remember when PlayStation they did that the mini one that didn't get reviewed very well?
Yeah.
And it has like preloaded games and it's like a plug and play. I found on Facebook Marketplace, I think someone bought them thinking that they were going to skyrocket, and they didn't at first. But then they did later on. I think now they're about, are they like 60, 70 quid now or something?
Yeah.
But he was selling them at like £10 each because he wanted to get rid of them and he had like 10. But by the time I got there, they only had 2 left, so I had to take 2. But then I sold them. I think I sat on them for Christmas, and then it was the following Christmas they spiked to like 70 odd. I think I sold mine for like 40 odd quid.
Yeah.
But just time and place, isn't it? You just got to be lucky as well.
Yeah, exactly. Jess says anytime a car booster tells me something doesn't work, something works, it doesn't, jinxes me every time. Yeah.
Take batteries with you. If you take like certain batteries, you can test stuff. You know, like Walkmans.
Yeah.
You say, "Oh, can I test it?"
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Hi, Jodie. And Dave, great channel, George.
Oh, thanks, Dave.
Oh, Sharon's got Xboxes, not Wii's. Yeah, they are a bit hit and miss, but they were always flaky anyway, weren't they? 360s.
Yeah, they've got the red ring of death.
Yeah.
You've got to be careful of.
Yeah, exactly. Tonk says GSP is just another eBay money making scheme. Rather do my own so the money comes my way and not eBay's. I actually wouldn't know where to start to do my own, to be honest. So I'm quite happy for the service.
Yeah, I to be honest, I am, and they cover you as well in case
Yeah,
something goes wrong.
yeah, especially with all like you got to have like the customs form and everything, and they sort all that out for you. And
That is it.
wouldn't
I
know,
couldn't do that.
no, I wouldn't know what to do. Like I literally wouldn't know where to start, and I don't find it any more expensive for me. I find it more expensive for the buyer because they've got to pay a stupid amount of shipping. So
Exactly.
I don't find it really affects me as such in any way. But I also don't do loads of GSP. I only get one, every now and again.
I think in circa like 2017, 18, when like GSP was like up, like really up and really, I was getting probably around 3 or 4 a week in terms of
Oh wow.
GSP, and I was doing really well, like global shipping, and it was firing out. And then because they put those import fees on and everything started, so all of a sudden I barely get. I mean, ironically, I have had one GSP this week, so fingers crossed. But really, it's slowed down. Like there was about for a time, it was about 20% of my business, like per week, was GSP, and now it's just gone down to hardly anything.
That's crazy.
So, I mean, I'm glad for the service though.
Hi Emma. I think as well, I think because of the price of like the shipping on top, if you are doing GSP, you that person's got to really want that item, haven't they?
Yeah, and you know that they're not going to return it.
Yeah, they're not going to just buy it on a whim, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Limelight, Sophie, have the sales started rolling in from your January listings? Yeah, I think so, Limelight. I'm going to be doing a lot more listing kind of over this weekend because I saw Nicole and she gave me a load of consignment stuff to do with her. So, yeah, I'm going to have loads to be getting on with over the weekend. So hopefully be able to keep the momentum going. Pete is in. Hello, thanks for joining. Question for George: have you used that bin key yet?
I've got it here.
What's this about?
No, it's still unused. I need to. Sorry, but pop my bin cherry. I need to do it. I know I need to do it, and I need to just bite the bullet and get a bit of courage and put my hood up. A balaclava on in the middle of the night. Torch in the mouth and everything. I'll do it one day and I'll record it just for you. Alvin.
Night's Life, hiya. Thanks for joining. Damien, unless you're profiting off the shipping costs, how is GSP less profitable than doing your own international shipping? I don't know, to be quite honest.
I mean, all you need to worry about there is like the postage to the GSP center. So
yeah, for me personally, like I don't think it makes any it doesn't make any difference to me. I'm just quite glad of the service. It doesn't. I personally don't feel you lose out from it.
Yeah.
But like I say, I don't do loads of it. If you do loads of it, some people might have a different view, but
I have started noticing I've been getting a lot of questions on Depop saying like, oh, do you ship to the States? Do you ship to the States? I'm like, yeah, I do, but it's like a general flat fee. I think it's like 25. I put a £25 on because the majority of my Depop stuff is like less than a kilogram. So it's like the smallest amount. And I always do it international tracked through Royal Mail. That is like, I won't entertain anything else really. I'm a bit kind of stubborn that way. But I think usually it's about 22 and a half maybe, or 23 quid. So I'm making like £2 extra. I mean, woo, profit, but it's not really like that much, to be honest. But I'm glad for the sales. If they're willing to pay that extra £25, then hey.
Yeah. Do you sell much on Depop?
Well, I'm gonna say no, but then at the same time, I've made like 3 or 4 sales this week, which is good. That's a good kind of Depop kind of thing. But again, I've got 2 Depop stores. I've got one for clothing and one for everything else. So it works out. I make about, I don't know, on average, it's between 80 and like 150 a month. So I say it's about 100 a month off each one. So it's all right. I mean, it's extra eyes, isn't it? It's eyes. You don't want to put everything on eBay because some people don't like eBay. And like, you know, younger people, they just go on Depop. I went on Depop and I was looking for like myself. I was looking for myself. I was looking for like trousers and tops and everything. And I was like, oh my God, how are these people making money? Because they've reduced, they were doing like 50%, like not like, you know, markdowns. I'm like, wow. So, I was like, that is really cheap. So now I'm like, oh God, am I doing it wrong? But I'm making sales, not as much as they are, obviously, but
I stopped with Depop. I just found it more hassle than it was worth for me because I was just getting virtually nothing out of it, really.
A lot of people say that. Like it does take a while. How I consider Depop is I cross list from eBay onto Depop and Vinted when I'm watching something, so when I'm bored, and then I just forget about it. I forget about it, and then if a sale happens, I'm like, oh, that's nice. And it just so happens, like the Super Bowl, I had 2 sales. I was like, oh my God. So that's nice. It's 2 sales that I wouldn't have had.
Yeah.
You know, and it pushed me over the edge, not over the edge, but it pushed me over my target. Crikey.
So Sophie, are you any nearer to giving up the nursing? No, I'm not. Is a short answer. Not yet. No, I'd have to admit, like, I don't know. I don't think I'd ever give up like totally. I think even when I go full-time reselling, whenever that may be, I reckon I'd probably still like just do the very odd shift, just to keep my hand in. But it's certainly not what I want to do full-time anymore. But I'm saving up, trying to save up to get a real good chunk of money up behind me so I can do it properly. Because I had like a trial in January basically, and I found it quite hard to go back to work after that, to be honest.
But it's like stability as well. It's like knowing like, oh, I can do like you said, I can do a couple of 12-hour shifts. And then not do anything for the rest of the week, you know. So it's nice to like know that you've got that skill and you can go there and go on the ward.
Oh, Lindsay and Alvin say, get that bin cherry pop.
Oh, I will. I promise I will.
Woo, sorry I'm late. No problem.
Who was that? Oh, was that Woo?
And the Dave answer from me is no. Had Depop and Vinted since mid-January and sold one thing. eBay is still king. Got to give it a chance. Loads of likes, but no takers. Yeah, I mean, I don't believe in kind of putting all your eggs in one basket, like because like you say, George, it could be that someone will want it on Vinted or someone will want a Depop, and that does happen. But yeah, I mean, Vinted, I do. Okay with. eBay is still my main source of sales, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'd say at the moment, it was probably 80% eBay, 20% Vinted.
Yeah.
I go through stages where it's 60 eBay, 40 Vinted. But yeah.
But we're quite lucky in our job because the thing is, if you look at over the years how much traffic eBay have had, it's gone up, and then it's all the third party ones, they're slowly going up, and eBay's slowly going down. And over here, Poshmark's come in, Whatnot's come in.
Yeah,
they're gonna eat away at eventually. So it's best to kind of have a foot in now in other third party platforms just to establish yourself, and plus it's kind of like keeping your skill set. Kind of like, I can do it on there, I can do it on there. So if anybody wants to try it, just go for it. Go try it on Vinted. It's not scary at all. Trying a new thing isn't scary. It's just getting used to it.
Yeah. And I think eventually eBay will get some good solid competition. Like I think they need that, and it will happen, eventually. And there's just so, like you're saying, like now there's so many different avenues you can go by, and when Poshmark comes, I'm definitely going to give that a go. I have signed up for Whatnot, but I'm guessing I got accepted because I never heard anything else since. Then I got one of them get £10 free Whatnot credit or whatever things through. So I'm guessing I've got an account because you have to be accepted for it. So
I haven't even bothered going for Whatnot. I don't know. I've tried Poshmark, but they just said, "Oh, you're on a waiting list." I was like, "Thanks."
Oh, I haven't actually tried to sign up for Poshmark just yet, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know when it's actually launching either.
Is it the beginning of March? I think.
Oh, is it?
I think so. I know that. Just talking about different ways to sell, like TikTok, they've got TikTok shops now, haven't they?
Yeah.
And you can buy stuff from there. So you can do like TikTok lives and then say, "Oh well, it's all in the shops," and it feels like a bit like like QVC or like a game show. I feel like, oh no. And some people are like really professional. Do you know what I like on the TikTok ones? And I don't buy anything. Oh, actually, no, that's a lie. I have bought something off them. It's the the sweets people. Have you seen that? Where they've put loads of sweets in buckets and they sell these buckets full of like just candy. And it's like, oh my God, like, yeah, I have bought one thing, but I was watching, it's an American store, but it's in Britain. So it was American candy, and it was for Christmas. It was someone's present. I couldn't find it anywhere, not even on eBay. And for some reason on TikTok, someone pointed me towards that. And yes, I promise I'm not a frequent shopper on that. It did kind of scare me. Like, is this genuine? Can I actually buy this through TikTok? That seems weird. It's the future.
I need to get better at my TikTok. I do have a TikTok account, but I literally don't post anything on it. And I do need to kind of get my head in it. But I feel like anytime I think, oh, actually, I might try like posting something, either no one really like looks at it because I don't know what I'm doing, and also I think, oh yeah, I'm gonna make a video like this, and then I can't work out like how to do it or what I'm doing.
It takes a lot to like get used to. I mean, my TikTok, I basically all my shorts on my YouTube and all my Instagram reels and everything, I basically just copy and paste it. So they're all the same. I'm not I'm not reinventing the wheel. I'm literally throwing it out to every platform. But I do the green screen on TikTok. That's the green screen that I use, when I do like things behind me and everything. So yeah, I do. I've started using that, and it's pretty easy to use after a while. But like I said, I'm not very tech savvy at all. It took me a while to get the hang of it. But once I got it gets easier. It does get easier.
Lindsay and Alvin say Gumtree is full of scammers and time wasters.
I use Gumtree for freebies because why would anybody scam you out if they want to give away a freebie?
Yeah, exactly. Sarah resells. Poshmark is in better at the moment. There's about 400 of us on there, I think. I don't think it will be long before it goes live. Oh, maybe I need to look at this then. I need to try and get my act together. So, have you picked up anything then, George? You got anything to show us?
Well, today I was supposed to go to the chat. Well, I went to my lockup, my unit, and I picked up my orders. And I don't have anything other than the stuff that I got yesterday. It's like a bit of a letdown now. And it's not even my best haul. But I did. I'll show you this. It's just I'm going to list this later. I got this. I got like a load of toys from the car boot, and I saw this one, and I saw it, and it was Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I saw that. I just hit my elbow. Sorry. I saw that today. And you're like, nothing, Jon Snow.
You know nothing, Jon Snow. Yeah. So, but yeah, apparently it's actually worth like 20 odd quid, or someone's listed it at 20 odd quid. One is sold for like 17. So I think if I put it up for 20,
Yeah.
We'll see. But yeah, and I got this, which is probably one of the. I'm not. Ooh, load of things falling. It's all right. I got this. This is just like a really unusual pattern,
Yeah,
and it's a
it
tankard. I don't buy these at all. I just saw it and I thought, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't got anything. It's not really inspired. Nothing like no bolos or anything. I'm just looking. No. I thought that I picked this up and it was like, oh, can anyone guess the pattern? Can anybody? Is it Burberry? No, it's not. It's Danny Mac. It's Danny Mac from like C&A, but it's not Burberry at all. Yeah, but I got it anyway, and I thought it looked pretty cool.
Oh.
Yeah, so nothing too inspired, I'm afraid. I'm trying to look round to see if I can grab anything. No. I've listed loads, and I took today. I took loads to my lockup. You see, so I've got like a space there to fill. So that's my excuse. I'm going to a jumble sale on Sunday, and it's straight after the car boot. So it's like on the way. So I'll hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll be picking up a load of stuff.
Yeah.
Because like my car boot last week, it wasn't that good. It was all right, but it was like a bit meh. Which is not like I always pick up something, but I don't like. It's very rare where I do amazing. Like I see some people and they pick up some cracking finds. I mean, it blows my mind. It blows my mind when I watch it. I'm like, oh my god, it gives me hope.
Yeah, yeah. I know, like I see loads of people get like amazing stuff, and I'm like, why haven't I ever found this at a car boot?
That's it. Well, like it's the same when I see people who pick up like game cubes, and I'm like,
yeah,
where have you found them?
Yeah, where did it come from?
Yeah. But hey, good on them. 20% fees on Poshmark.
Yeah, that's what
Wow.
Sarah. Yeah, that's quite a lot, isn't it? Although I think that's kind of edging closer to kind of Depop sort of fees, because I did a video like doing a comparison basically between eBay, Depop, and Vinted, and I covered lots of different topics in that. And one of them was the fees, and Depop was highest by like a mile. So I think that's probably close to what you end up paying in like Depop.
I think with Depop as well, like the promotional fees are flat 8%.
Yeah,
so
that's it. Yeah,
it
because
adds up.
I think I remember now actually from my video, you get I think the fee is like 12% or something, plus you have like the transaction fee on top.
Yeah.
And if it's sold with that promotion at the flat 8%, then that will take you up to 20.
Yeah.
Woo Woo says, is JawG listing later too?
Live listing? No, I'm not going on tonight. I'll go on tomorrow, but I'm not doing it.
Two lives in one night, too much.
Yeah, I mean, I did one the other day, and it was like I did a live on Sunday, and I think it was Tonks who was like who persuaded me, but it ended up being like 2.5 hours, and I was like, oh my god, I'm dead. Although I did manage to list a load of stuff, and I cross listed as well onto Vinted and Depop. So I was like, I'm counting that as like 30 listings altogether. I try and do 10, you see, during a live, but
yeah. Lisa, what's been your best sale?
Oh, I don't know. Like value wise or just percentage wise, because there's a couple actually. I've just sold the last of camera cases. You know, like I'm trying to think the brand. Is it Low Pro? There's like this brand, and they do loads of camera cases and everything. And there's another brand, and I can't remember what. But basically, I got like a bin bag full of camera cases, and it was insane. I got like, I think there was like 60, 70, and each one was worth about £7. And I got it for £2 plus £2.20 premium. So it was about £4.40. And I sold the first one I sold for 30 odd quid. And I was like, what? And then I took more attention, and then I was looking through them all, and I divvied it up. I think I've made about £300 off that one bundle of £4. And I've just sold. I think I've got one left I think I've got one left, but I did sell one the other day. But they've been like sitting for like a year, and they've just been going off. Like I probably sell like one a month or one every other week. But yeah, my favourite sale, I must say, I've got two actually. One, I got a teddy, and it's from, you remember dinosaurs, the Disney dinosaurs, with the baby.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The puppets and Jim Henson and everything. It's like baby, that one. So, I found a plush, and it had the pull string cord, and it still worked. Yeah. And I got it was in a bundle of toys, and I got that at the auction. I think altogether it was like £18 I paid for the whole bag. And I sold a basil brush. That was like, I think that was 15 quid because it was a vintage one. And then that other one, the dinosaur one, I think it sold for £124 altogether.
Oh wow!
No. Remember rightly. I did have it on Instagram like years ago. I think it was like 2018 or something like that. But that was one of my big sales. I was like, oh, yeah. I was so kind of like chuffed. I was like running around going, guess what I've sold this for? Guess what I've sold this for? And it was not long after I had my breakdown, and it was the first proper sale that I was like, oh my God, I can do this.
Yeah,
I can actually do this as a job. And it was a real kind of like boost when I really needed it.
Yeah,
I wasn't working at the time, and I was just like, it was just kind of like just starting off this reselling, and it just kind of went, oh, I can do this. And when the money hit my account, I was like, oh, I can spend. Yeah. And then it's just been like a rolling thing. So
yeah, oh, that's great. It's like, it's nice when you get quick flips as well, isn't it? But the reality is, you will get, I'd say, probably like 60% that does sit for ages, doesn't it? Like that's the reality of it.
Unfortunately, yeah. I mean, and now it's like, I think a lot more people are doing it as well. Like, I think it was Amanda that was saying anything vintage. She said you could put things up, and then in a few weeks things would sell. But now it's like a few months down the line, sometimes a year, and it's still there. But I think it depends it depends what you're willing to sell it for. I mean, I've got like a process where like I try and sell it full asking, and then after like the first cycle, I kind of reduce it and keep reducing it. And to be honest, now it's like I'm going to do my first batch of proper auctions, like 99p auctions, because I've got loads of items that are just sitting, and it's just personal, but it's annoying me that they've been there for like 18 months to 2 years, and I'm like, I just want to get them gone now because I want to just want to get them gone. So I'm going to do, I think at the end of February, I'm going to do a spring cleaning, and I'm going to do as many auctions as I can just to get rid.
Yeah, I think you have to, don't you? You get to that point where you're like, right, this clearly isn't going to go. So I've got to just get rid of it. And I find it funny as well that sometimes like things sell so differently for like other people as well. Like so many people will be like, oh, pick this up and that. And for some people it sells really well, but for you it might not. Like you might not be able to get rid of it.
I think I think I mentioned this the other day. It was I can't remember what the item was, but I sold something, and usually I sell something like I think it was on Etsy, and I sold it for like it was a lot more money than what I had on eBay. Weirdly, I think it's because the fees are a bit more on Etsy, so I put it up to that amount. And then with eBay, I've been reducing it over the time, so it looks like there was I think altogether it was like a £15 difference, and it's sold on Etsy. I was like, that person could have bought it for £15 cheaper on eBay.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Weird. But yeah, it is weird what sells. I mean, it's like what we were saying the other day. I sold a box for Maker's Mark. Is it whiskey?
Yeah.
Whiskey. I found a box. It was 3 for £1 in items at the car boot, and so it's 33p. And I sold it to someone. It was GSP, ironically. I put it up, and literally the day after, like the next, there's not one online. There's none on eBay. So I'll just put it up for 20 quid, just gauge interest, and it sold outright, like within 24 hours. And I'm like, what? It's literally just a gift box.
It is amazing what people do buy as well sometimes.
I know. I mean, there's certain things like I think I put on one of the videos. It was they were doing Tom Brady was sat and the footballer he did a retirement video and someone found where he was sat and filmed it and they were scooping up little vials of sand and selling them on eBay and they were going for like £100 or $100 each. It's like, why are you buying the sand? It could be from like Morecambe Beach for all you know.
Yeah.
Oh, people.
Pete says, "What's the most watches you've had on an item?" I think mine's 54.
Ooh. Probably about 20.
I've definitely not had 54 on
No, I haven't. Usually I sell something sells.
It does worry me though when you get loads of views and then you get quite a few watches and then it still hasn't sold. I'm like, just buy it. Buy it.
And if you've sent an offer out to like all those 54 people, it's like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Buy it.
Why are you buying it?
Yeah. God, that would drive me nuts, Pete. If to be honest, that would drive me insane. You know what I'd do? I'd take it off and then sell similar because they'd all get a notification that an item has been relisted. So if they're taking heed of their emails, you never know, it might re-gauge interest in them.
Yeah, that's why I do sell similars all the time. Even if I've got watches on it, because some people are like, oh, don't do a sell similar if you've got watches on it because you'll lose the watches. But I give it a few days and I think, well, they weren't going to buy it anyway. So you might as well sell similar it again and get someone who is going to buy it.
Yeah, and I think as well, if somebody is watching it, like they'd either want it, because I watch items all the time, and I'm waiting for an offer.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for them to send an offer, really. I don't really send offers, but I just wait. And then if they send an offer, I'm like, all right, I'll take that or something. So if I've clicked on watch, I might have forgotten about it. So I need re-engaging. So it's like prompting, innit? You need to prompt people.
Yeah, exactly. Jess Thrifty Shutterbug says, "What's the strangest thing you've sold, George?"
I don't know. Let's see. Oh, I'm trying to think. I have sold some weird stuff. I have sold some like weird stuff in the past, but I can't think. I don't know. I've sold it was a doll. It was just a weird shaped doll, and all I put in the listing was just like weird doll. And it had like half a patch of hair. It was very patchy hair, and it just looked terrifying. And my mum and dad were like, "Why are you trying to just burn it?" I was like, "No, because then the demon will release and kill us all." No, I sold it. It was a doll. It was in a box, and I sold it to someone in the UK, and then they returned it.
Oh God!
And then someone in Australia bought it, and I sent it through GSP, and they were fine with it. They gave me positive feedback, so I was just like, okay. I haven't heard anything from them since, so fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed it's still alive.
Yeah, but nothing really like weird. I know someone saw I can't remember who it was on. I think it was on an Instagram reel. Someone went into their thrift stores in America, obviously, and they found a load of sex toys. Like in the thrift store, it's like, what?
That is definitely not something to resell, is it?
No, it's like, what are the trading standards going to think? It's like quality control. Who's putting these out? Oh.
Pete says it was a Hero Quest Advance board game, so that was the reason. Probably fairly rare. Yeah.
Oh, I've only ever seen one Hero Quest in the wild, and I was stupid enough to pass it up. I think they wanted 30 quid for it, and I was like, oh, that's too much. No, that was probably about right. I could have flipped it for 100. Oh, well, you lose. You kick yourself, but it's a lesson learned. Every time I see one now, I'll be like, mine.
Yeah, exactly. And you can't know everything. Like, there's so much out there, especially if you're like an everything seller. Like, there's so much out there, isn't there?
Exactly. You can't think. hate crappy offers. Some people think you're desperate sometimes. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, I've had a lot of lowball offers lately, actually, thinking about it.
Do you not set auto decline?
No, so sometimes I will put like a minimum offer that I would accept on it.
Yeah,
But quite often I just put allow offers for like
that's good.
everything. But the odd
I,
thing, I'll be like, I can't be asked with people time wasting me, so I'll put like a minimum like amount.
yeah, yeah. I do minimum amount for the majority of things, mainly because, like I was starting off, I heard someone said, "Oh, don't put auto decline on because it kills your shop or kills your like." What's it? I was like, well, I don't know. I've got auto decline on like a minimum offer,
Yeah.
and I'm I'm making a living.
Yeah. I mean, I'll always send out like a counter offer.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think sometimes like I was thinking about this earlier because um loads of people, everyone runs their business in a different way, don't they? Everyone has different strategies, different things that work for them, and that's fine. And
Yeah.
I don't think really with eBay there's necessarily like a hard and fast rule because I went to the eBay Roadshow and it caused
Mhm.
like a bit of a debate. This, so I did like a little video, and in I had a guy from eBay basically like review my store and give me like little tips and things that I could be doing. And he said in the item specifics I've got missing, obviously because it wasn't relevant, I just left it blank. And I was putting, he said put NA in it instead. And I counted up kind of over the last kind of 10 items that I've sold, over the last kind of couple of days or whatever. And I looked through my item specifics to see which ones I'd put NA in the gaps and which ones were just left blank.
Right.
Um, and I think it the blank ones won. I think it was like 6-4, something like
Mm.
that. 6 to leaving it blank and 4 for putting NA in. So that's quite close really. So I
Yeah.
don't think like it necessarily makes a huge difference whether you leave it blank or put something in there or not.
I know that when he said like, who was it now? I can't remember who it was, but they said don't put your own like thing in, like either like you say do NA or leave it blank. Don't put
Yeah,
your own thing in because it'll mess up like the search results or something like
yeah,
that. So I've never really done it. I just leave it blank.
yeah.
Well,
And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And a lot of people will tell you to leave it blank. But I think actually, if you choose to just put NA in there, I don't think it has a massive impact on people seeing your item.
yeah,
Because I sold like a fair amount of ones where I'd put NA in. Because some I'd left, like I started going back and putting NA, and then I spoke to Damien, and I left it then. But I've had quite a good split, really, of ones that I put NA in and ones that I didn't.
yeah.
So that's like my little experiment today, my little report. Question for George: what's your favourite place to source charity shops or car boot or something else?
Ooh. Well, I know Sarah likes a charity shop, and I know she likes a boot, a car boot as well. If you follow her on Instagram, everybody, she finds some amazing stuff. Um, oh, I don't know. I think it depends on the charity shop and it depends on the car boot, but I do prefer the car boot mainly because the stuff that you find there's a higher markup because now charity shops are just the too aware. I mean, that toy, where is it? That wolf, like literally, it's like probably like 30 odd p. And in a charity shop, you know that like a toy, any toy, there's like £1 or £2. But then
Yeah,
they see Game of Thrones and they're like, oh, it's a thing. We have to
yeah,
put it up for £3 now. And it's like, oh,
yeah,
still
yeah,
profit, but then it's reduced profit. But then it's, what you're willing to pay.
yeah,
But
exactly.
yeah, I think car boot just because it's fun as well having a rummage.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
if you're in a charity shop, you can't like get proper down and dirty, like proper like, like throwing things around. No, I don't throw things around. But yeah, I do. I like charity shops, but yeah, I think car boots mainly.
Yeah, and I think with car boots, well, you really don't know what you're gonna find at all, do you?
Exactly. I mean, convenience for charity shops, because you've got like, they're everywhere, really, aren't they?
Yeah.
And you know that they've got clothing. You know
Yeah.
that they've got a load of crockery. You
Yeah.
know that they've got toys. So you
Yeah.
can go, and DVDs or whatever. You know,
Yeah.
you can go in, and so you know that you're gonna find at least possibly one thing.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the convenience, but you know that you might have to pay up for that one thing. So
Yeah, exactly. Secondhand sex toys, disgusting. Yep, it
and
is.
that's coming from dumpster divers.
We don't mind an offer and don't mind sending offers. We price items to allow for offers. Yeah, exactly. That's what I do.
Yeah.
But when they send stupid offers, you just know that they're time wasters. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't got the bandwidth to handle them silly offers.
No, no, exactly.
But they
Uh,
don't have that function on Vinted. I wish they had it on Vinted, because I got a really stupid one the other day. It was like £5 and it was on a £20 item. And I was like, you know what? I lost it and I put obviously not. Because usually I just put no. But then I was dying to be like, but I just put obviously not. And
yeah,
you'd literally just sent a thumbs up emoji. And I was like, yeah, bugger off.
yeah. Lisa put no one searches NA, so why do we need to put it? Yeah,
That's a good point.
it's true. Yeah, it's true. I think if you want to just get like the full tick, then you can put
Yeah.
it. But yeah, what if the brand is not listed? Can you put the brand in? Yeah, you can always add the brand in or put like unbranded or whatever. I think that's universal.
Yeah, there is an unbranded thing that comes up now, I've noticed.
Yeah, yeah. We put does not apply, as some of the stuff doesn't apply to the item at all. Yeah, I mean, like I had just a bog standard summer dress, and obviously it asked for like a character. So I left it blank, and then when I was fiddling around, as we all fiddle around with our stores, then I just put NA in it instead, because it doesn't apply. She's always flipping. I put a full stop.
No messing with Mandy, you see. Mandy, she's like, nope.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Or character, unless exactly. That's what I do. I just put NA. Or I leave it blank. But I was quite interested to see that. I don't think it really makes like a huge difference what you do there, whether you leave it blank or put NA. I don't think it really matters.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we're at the bottom of the chat now, and also Dave ABL is on now.
Who is he?
Yeah. So
I know that Peter Ray's on at 8:30, I think.
Yeah.
I noticed.
Yeah. Wednesday seems to be like a popular live night.
It is a bit of a. I mean, my lives are on like literally 7 o'clock nearly every night until I get rid of everything. I've committed myself to do 7 o'clock lives, but like trying to get rid of everything while I'm buying, it's just making a rod for my own back. But it's good because everybody can come in and. Sorry, guys. Hope you're well. That's all right, then. Oh, is she gone? I'm at. Bye, Mandy. Oh, are we still on? Are we not? It's all frozen. Have I frozen? Can anyone in the chat hear me? Am I still on? Am I in the chat? Is the live thing still checking? George is working. Am I still working? All right. Is Sophie still there? You can hear. Oh no, she's gone. Ah! You're still on. Sophie's frozen. Oh no. She might come back on. I'll just stay on until she comes back on. If not, I'll click off because we've been on the hour. How's everyone's sales? Anybody? Is everyone's sales good? I've had a couple today. I had one just before we went live. Some shorts of all things. You have control. That's a bad thing. Welcome to the listing live with John. Yeah. She was saying goodbye anyway. Yeah, she was rubbish non today. No. Right, we need to send Lisa some good juju. See if she gets any sales tonight. So now you need to do your live. Just finished a weekly sales vid. Oh, very good. Being quiet. Let's have a look. Oh, sorry, my phone's going a bit. Oh no, I've just got a message from her. She says her internet's just crashed. Oh, right, Josh, time to go live. Tonks is like desperate for me to go live. Hang on, let me just message her back. Oh, see. Oh. Do you want me to click off and say bye to everyone? She's probably watching live now. Is she in the chat? Oh no, her internet's gone. I knew you'd do a live listening. I'm not going to do a live. Yeah, she just messaged me. Sophie's just messaged me. I think that's everything because yeah, Peter Ray. I think Peter Ray's Adventures is going on at 8:30. If you're not subscribed to Peter Ray, go subscribe because he's so close to 2,000. Is it 2,000 that he's on or 2.5? I can't remember what. Or he might have passed it. I don't know. It's been a while. Take him back. I'm off to ABL. All right, yeah, I'll probably see you in there, Dave. I'm just checking me phone. Just click off this. Oh, this is the danger of having like multiple screens. What's the strangest? Oh, where is it? Oh, pop out. There we go. Right. Bye, everybody. I think I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. Yeah, it's been a while. I think if her internet's kind of conked out, that's it. But yeah, everybody subscribe to Sophie. And I suppose you could subscribe to me if you want. I'm friendly. I can be a bit grumpy, but I'm friendly. Right, everybody. Hi, everyone. My internet's crashed. Oh, yeah, she's just clicked on. Okay, if you can see me, bye. Bye, everyone.
Right, I'm back on very quickly. My internet's back. I don't know if anyone's still here. I had to come back on to actually end it. So yeah, that was interesting, wasn't it, guys? I'll see you all later. Bye.